All right, looks like it just hit 8 o'clock. Good morning, Lebanon area seniors. It's Rebecca from the Lebanon Senior Center. And this morning we are going to do some chair chi. Welcome. We always start chair chi with some deep breathing, which we will begin in just a second. Just a reminder, only do what you feel comfortable doing. If you have an injury or recovering from an ailment or just have some restricted movement for whatever medical reason, or you're just beginning, take it easy. Always do a little less at your first visit with us and steadily add a little more repetitions or a little more effort or a little more stretch and distance, just so your body has a chance to give it a shot first. Would rather have you have a good experience your first time with us and then build from there. Also, hopefully you drink some water before, or if not, definitely drink some water afterwards. Even though you might not be breaking out in a huge sweat and gasping for air, it is still exercise and a workout. So we encourage you to stay hydrated, keep breathing throughout the whole process. We're going to talk about connecting our breathing to our movement, really connecting the mind, body, and spirit while you are working out with us today. And if you want to watch it later, we do have our videos up on our YouTube channel as well, Lebanon, Oregon Senior Center. I can hunt it down on YouTube. And if you want to participate more than once a week, that's a great way to do it. All right. All that said, let's start with that deep breath. So we're going to breathe in nice and deep. And when you take that deep breath in, really work to fill your whole chest cavity, not just the top of your lungs, which is what we usually do. You want to feel your belly move. Let's do one more. Good job. Let's bring our hands to the center in front of us. And we're going to do our morning salutation, lifting those hands to the sky, really pushing up on those shoulders, bringing the hands down back to chest level, rotating this forward, pushing out in front of you, really stretching those shoulders and bringing them back in. And once again to the sky. We're going to part those hands, bringing our hands back to our sides. Good job. And let's go ahead and let our head fall to our chest. Just letting gravity take hold and start stretching out our neck for us. And when you've got a second, you're going to roll your head to one side and gently roll it back the other direction. Breathing in as you go one direction. And breathing out as you roll back the other way. This is where you get to see my cat, Sassy. Yeah, she thinks she needs to be a part of this. Mom's hands down at her side, therefore it's prime opportunity to snag a little petting. Yeah. All right, and we'll go ahead and lift our head back up. Good job. We're going to gently let our head fall to the side. Yes, not forcing it further than it wants to go. Just again, letting gravity give it a little pull. If you do want a little more resistance, you can put your hand on top. Don't grab your head and pull again. Don't want strain. Just a little extra weight. I don't know if you guys can hear how loud she's purring. It's a little distracting on my Zen. All right, we did switch Our head is now resting towards the other shoulder. Again, just letting nature help stretch out our neck. And if you want that resistance, you can put your hand on top of your head. Just let it rest there. This is not supposed to be a shoulder or arm workout part of the video, just letting that neck stretch. All right, and hand back to your side. Good job. Let's go ahead and bring those palms back together in front of us, and we're going to stretch out our wrists and our fingers, pushing our wrists and our fingers the opposite direction with the hand that's on top. So, great way to start the day if you've got any arthritis, or for those of us with a little carpal tunnel starting up, we definitely need to stretch out in the morning. Make sure those joints feel like they can be used the rest of the day. And we'll switch to the other direction. Pushing against our fingers. Good job. All right, we'll bring them back up. And let those hands fall to our sides, and we're just going to do some shoulder rolls. Yeah, you can start them off small, just really letting the joint warm up a little bit. As it does, then you can really start working them. Bigger and bigger circles. There is cat yoga happening at my feet. That's all I'm going to say. Some very desperate pleas of attention. And I'm going to change position. I'm going to start going forward. If you were going forward, you can go backward. You can do a little one and then the other. I always think this helps get my upper back into it a little bit more. And you can reverse that and go forward. Good job. All right. And we're going to take one arm and sweep it across in front of us. Reaching up with our other hand, we're going to pull that elbow close. Just really stretching out your shoulder blade, upper back. If you need some acknowledgement for showing up to exercise class this morning, you can pat yourself on the back. It's always fun to do just a little bit. All right, we'll relax that arm back down to our side. And again, we'll do the opposite. Bring the other arm across, really stretching it out. Beautiful. Bring that arm back to our side. So we're going to go back to that first arm again, stretching across the body, except instead of reaching up, we're going to go for the opposite hand, opposite knee. Okay. And we're going to twist. Try to keep that posture straight. You're just twisting. And if you want some additional resistance, you can always hold the back of your chair. Sometimes it helps me pull around a little bit more, get a deeper stretch. All right. And to talk at 8 o'clock in the morning. seated in a chair doesn't mean we're going to forget our legs. So we're going to go ahead and include those. We're going to stretch out one leg in front of us nice and straight. You can rest it with pointed toes or with your foot up, whichever you would like to do. I always like to point my toes. I like the front stretch so that I get all the way from the tips of my toes all the way up my leg. So with your toes flexed, you're going to go ahead and if you do have balance issues, this is where you can anchor yourself. So with your knee that's bent still, you can place your other hand on your knee. So as we go to stretch and lean over our leg that's stretched out, you can certainly get some extra support. If you are feeling very capable, you can reach with both hands. Really get down there and hug your leg. And if you only make it to your knee, that's great. If you get to your shin, you're doing well. If you get to your ankle or all the way to those toes, you're doing awesome. Really important, don't stop breathing. Keep taking those deep breaths. All right, as we get ready to return to sitting upright, make sure you come up really slowly. Come up really slowly because you just had your head down lower than your heart. And you can kind of, the blood pressure changes a little bit, and you can kind of get a little head rush, which can make you dizzy. We don't want you falling off your chair, so make sure you move slowly. All right, so we did one leg, so we're going to switch. Other leg is getting stretched out before us, and I stretch on that leg, keeping our other leg knee bent. Again, if you need a little bit of balance assistance, you can certainly hold on to that knee as you slowly stretch downward. And again, if you only make it to your knee, good job. If you get to your shin, you're doing great. If you're getting all the way to those ankles or those toes, you're doing awesome. You also might find is after you're stretching for just a moment, if you think about it, you might see if you can go a little further. Sometimes when we're stretching, if we just relax into the initial stretch, as our muscles and soft tissues lengthen, you might find you can go a little bit further. All right, again, slowly. Nice deep breath in as you come up. You bring that knee back under you. There you go. Now our knees are back at 90 degrees or thereabouts. Always a little bit more. I got short legs and tall chairs. Keeping our feet under our knees, kind of a nice 90-degree angle. Posture is good. Big deep breath. We're going to go ahead and we're going to come up on our toes. I know my toes are off screen, so I'm going to kind of demonstrate with my hands. You don't need to follow along with your hands. Kind of replicate what my hands are doing with your feet. So I've come up on my toes. And now I'm going to flatten back to the ground. Back up on my toes. Flattening back to the ground. Up on my toes. Back down. Up on my toes. And back down. As you're doing this, you can start slowly, carefully squeezing that calf muscle just a little bit. Just start waking it up. Just a slight knock on the door. As you do a couple, as your calf muscles really wake up, you can start giving them a little bit stronger squeeze. Just don't want to jump into squeezing really hard before the muscles wake up. That way maybe you can avoid a leg cramp. When you start trying to use a muscle when it's cold, you increase your chance of getting those cramps in your legs. It's not a fun experience. All right, let's get one more in there. So back to the ground and up to the toes and really nice squeeze the calf muscles. Lower them back down. Excellent. So from here, we're going to move our feet up an inch or two. So now I'm taking my knees just past, just wider than that 90 degrees. Instead of going up on our toes, we're going to have our feet flat on the floor and we're going to rock back on our heel. Okay, so rocking back and down and back and down. Toes in the air, feet on the floor. Toes in the air, feet on the floor. Now I always like to try to think about squeezing. I'm trying to pull my toes back to either touch my shin or arc to the sky as much as they can. Just trying to give myself a visual goal. Job. We're still doing it. Let's do two more. 1 and 2. Oh, hold that last one for a second. All right, lower those feet to the floor. Good job. Let's go ahead and bring those feet back. Again, we're coming back to our 90 degrees just about. I'm trying to lose the glasses with the headset. And we're going to do our bent knee lift. So with our knees bent, we're going to pick it up off the ground and set it back down. One leg and then the other leg and back down. Connecting the breathing to the movement. And up and down. Up, down. Focus on picking it up and lowering it a little bit slowly. You really want to focus on using the muscles that hold that leg in the air. When we do things fast, we're usually letting momentum and gravity take hold. If we go slow, really slowly decompressing that gas pedal, you really have to use the muscle groups more. So just really focus on that. Really slow yourself down. It's not a race. And I'm trying to avoid stepping on a cat. Oh, crawling back into her bed. Let's do one more on each side. Excellent job. Good job. All right. We are going to do a seated yoga pose, really. We're going to put our feet together. These start together, but then they're going to relax apart. You've been thinking about pushing them apart. Sitting up nice and straight. We were seated on the floor. We'd be focusing on doing a yoga butterfly pose. Deep breath in. Out. Job. Now to reverse this, we're going to bring our knees back together and move our feet apart. Okay? Looks a little bit like you're doing like the Charleston or something from back in the day. So instead of thinking about holding our legs out and stretching outward, think about pushing inwards. About holding a stress ball between your knees or some small ball between your ears, and just trying to hold it there and squeeze it. Because if you relax those muscles, that ball is going to drop, and you don't want the ball to drop. It's like a special contest. So really think about pushing those knees together, holding those knees together really tight, really squeezing your thigh muscles together. And relax. Good job. All right. Bringing my feet back up under my knees. Good way to keep yourself balanced in life is never get out of alignment. So you want your knees over your ankles, your hips over your knees, except when you're seated, because obviously we're behind them. All right. So from here, we are going to do the everyone's favorite, because you feel it later, anti-gravity leg lift. So this is a straight leg lift. So make sure you have a nice comfortable spot on your chair. I generally have to wiggle back a little bit because otherwise I sit on the edge of my seat. All right, and we're stretching out a leg in front of us. Again, I'm kind of showing you with my arm, stretching it straight out in front of me like we did for our stretch earlier. And I'm going ahead, and I always feel like I need to anchor myself, hold myself down so I don't fly away doing these anti-gravity leg lifts. And you can have your toe pointed, or you can have it your ankle at a 90-degree, whichever is more comfortable for you. I tend to do a little bit of both. So sitting up straight in your chair, comfortable position, you're going to lift that leg into the air, a couple of inches, foot, whatever you can do. Slowly lower it back down, but don't let it rest on the floor. Got to keep her hovering. And up. And lowered. I want to say down. I don't want you to put your foot down. Lowering it and lifting it. We're going to, again, doing these nice and slow with a lot of great intention. Let's get 2 more in there. 1 and 2. Really holding this one for a little bit. And slowly, slowly, very, very slowly to the ground. Whew, there you go. All right, you can pull that leg in. You can give us some acknowledgement for doing that work. These are certainly, you can do them longer. It's great to do in between episodes of your favorite Netflix show while you're waiting for the next one to load, or during a commercial break, or wherever you're sitting down and just need to get the blood pumping a little bit. All right, so we're switching legs. So I've got my other leg stretched out in front of me. This one's back to being a 90-degree, so I can hold on to something and keep myself down. When you're ready, you're going to lift that leg up off the floor. And again, it's not about comparing yourself or mimicking exactly what I do. It's about knowing your body. So if you only get an inch off the ground, that's okay. You started somewhere today. If you're really going and getting it a foot off the ground, excellent. If you're a former cheerleader and you can still do the can-can kicks, God bless you. It's not about comparing yourself to other people's bodies. It's about embracing and loving and maintaining yours. And don't forget to breathe. Two more. 1 and 2. Holding it there. Slowly, slowly, slowly going down. Woo! Good job. All right. And again, if you need to give them a little acknowledgement, shake them out. Sometimes you can really feel it. All right. So we've got everything good and warmed up and stretched out. We're feeling strong. So let's measure our energy. We're going to get our chi ball. So in Tai Chi, we believe that our energy comes from our core. So sometimes we have a little energy, sometimes you have a lot of energy. Just find a place of wherever yours is at today. Holding it in our hands, protecting it or showing it off. All right, and we are going to turn it side to side. Just start warming up those sides. Gentle twist. And we're going to start rotating that ball in this pass. So it was carried in one hand, we're going to gently rotate it. Let our hands take turns carrying our energy, our chi, back and forth, connecting that breathing to our motion. Yeah, very good. And on this pass, we're going to change it up again. We're going to pause for just a moment. That top hand, we're going to lift up a little bit, brush past our fingers of the hand we're still holding up, brush past the knees. We're going to rotate the hand like we're picking something else up. Come about shoulder level. The other hand that's been sitting still is now going to activate. We're going to stretch and carry it across over our heads and then brush down past the hand, past the knees, rotate up like we're lifting something, and repeat. So we're brushing a wild horse's mane or tail, lifting up some more hair, bringing the brush over and brushing it out. Now, you might have an injury or just starting out and you can't quite get that shoulder up. So you can come and do this very small movement or medium movement for you. Just starting here is still movement. And you might be able to arc just a little bit more. Maybe not today, but maybe in a couple of weeks. Or you're going to stretch that arm nice and big and over your head, brushing it down and past those knees, really rotating that shoulder and bringing the arm up high and big and wide over your head, really making those joints work. Really letting all of the muscle and soft tissue have a chance to stretch to the maximum that you can get it. Good job. All right, again, when you bring your hand over this time, we're going to pause. We're going to turn that hand up on edge, so perpendicular to other hand, and we're going to let it lead. Oh, that horse to some water. You know, it got really thirsty standing there getting groomed, evidently. So we're just leading it back and forth until we find a watering hole that's got some good, refreshing water in it. Some ladies in class have also joked that this looks like you're passing a grandbaby back to the parents. Maybe it needs a change. Say, hope, here you go. Your turn to hold the baby. Somebody else's turn to hold the baby. Whatever you can relate to. All right, and then, ooh, all of us Oregonians know how the weather changes. Well, you get to be the one to blast away the clouds or welcome them in, depending on how you feel about the weather. So we're just pushing clouds away or pulling them back in. You get to be as artistic, as dance-worthy, as interpretive at your drama as you want to be, as you do your own little cloud dance. You are the great wind, pushing them through the sky, gathering them together. And again, if you can only do small movements, you might be here. You might have a shoulder that's just not letting you do something big. And you can have it where you're doing smaller on one side and bigger on the other. Again, you listen to your body. If you can push big, you push big. All right, and with that, we'll bring our hands back down. Perfect, beautiful, thank you. All right, we're going to re-engage our arms, but also include a little bit more of our back. So we're going to sweep our arms up this way, kind of do a roll with the back and bring it back down. I always like to think of it as fluffing a sheet. You're picking up your sheet on your bed, whipping it out there, capturing the air in it and bringing it back down. All right, and we're going to lean our bodies forward while we do this. Nice and slow motion. I'm going to curve my back around, leaning over, and then arch it coming back. Let's do one more. Very good. Now we're going to take it to the side a little bit. All right. With your knees, I want you to twist one direction. With your shoulders, you're going to twist slightly the opposite. Don't overdo it, just a little bit. And we're going to reach to the one side, almost like you're pulling a rope. Okay? Bringing up the big anchor that's holding you back down, right? Really giving it a heave-ho, pulling it up. You don't have to let anything hold you back or hold you down. Bit by bit, little by little, we'll pull it up and you can let it go. Let's do one more on this side. All right, and we're going to switch it so the legs going the opposite direction. All right, sitting up straight and your torso's twisting the other way. Reaching for that rope, pulling in, let it go. Really working some cross-body coordination here. Just want all of those groups, muscle groups in your body to work together to help you get through your day. Still breathe in. All right, one more. There you go. Back to the front. All right. Do you want to see a little bit of bear action today? All right, big bears that just woke up from hibernation, so hungry, jumping in that deep water, the river, the lake, really going after those fish. And if you're a smaller bear, maybe your arms don't quite do the big circles, so you got little bear strokes, and that's okay. If you're a big ferocious bear and you can really get in there and dominate that water, some bigs forward, beautiful. And of course, maybe you're a fisherman out on the same body of water, and if you see a big bear coming, you might decide in infinite wisdom that You want to let them have the fishing water. So you can pick up the oars of your boat and start rowing. Really bring in those shoulders back, trying to get those shoulder blades to touch in the back. Breathing in and out. Beautiful. All right, and one more, and you're going to be safe to shore. Perfect. You put down your oars, and now after a day of fishing, you decide you need to go check your orchard out, see how the trees are growing. As you walk through the orchard, you realize that tree that you planted last week has grown big and tall, stretching high up over your head. And it's grown up big and tall because you've taken care of it. You've raked in all of those leaves or hugged the tree and gave it some TLC. And since you have taken such good care of it, that tree is ready to harvest. Let's go with apples. So we're going to be reaching up to the sky with our hand, climbing with the knee, bringing the knee up, reaching high, plucking those apples out of the tree. And you are going to gather up all those extra apples that you couldn't use, and you're going to share them with your family and friends who give you another tree to plant in your garden. Planting the tree, so once you get it in the ground, you need to use your foot, a nice circular motion with the foot off the ground. You're tapping down the earth around your new tree. Because when you take good care of those trees, because you're such a fine purveyor of your orchard, it grows tall so quickly right before your eyes. And you take really good care and pour out love into that tree. So you can go pick some oranges, fresh oranges out of that tree. And you will gather up the extra to share with family and friends. Once again, share their love back with you with another tree because, hey, it's a win-win. You get another tree, they get free produce, right? All right, circling that motion, tamping that new tree down. And another tree grows big and tall right before your very eyes. Reaching around, taking really good care of that tree, raking compost to the tree. And because you took such good care, it's already ready to pick those sweet and luscious nectarines. One of my favorites. Fresh, ripe nectarines. I don't know if I'd be sharing those with family and friends, but I'm evidently having a moment. Shared some nectarines with family and friends. They were so grateful. You've got another tree for your orchard. Perfect. And it grows big and tall right before your eyes. Lovely, lovely tree. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous because you've taken such good care of it. And it's ready to harvest. Woo! What do we have now? Let's go with pears. We're going to gather up those pears and share them with family and friends who, once again, give us another tree to plant. And we're tapping that into the ground. Good job. And that tree grows big and tall right before our eyes. Let's go with, how about a kumquat tree? And we are going to take really, really good care of that kumquat tree so we can go out and pluck fresh kumquats from the tree and share them with everyone who doesn't know what a kumquat is. There you go. Family and friends too, but definitely the unbeknownst people that don't know what kumquats are. And they are grateful and give us another tree for our orchard. And that tree grows big and tall right before your very eyes. really kind of cool. And you are taking really good care of it because you just want to know what the heck it's going to turn out to be. And you reach up to get your harvest, and lo and behold, you find it's a Dollar Tree. Hey, you've grown a Dollar Tree. Woohoo! It's so abundant, you evidently have extra bounty of dollars to share with your family and friends. Okay, so seniors did that to me once. They told me we had a Dollar Tree. They've also thrown at me boyfriend tree and candy tree and all kinds of other trees when we meet in person. And everyone gives you another tree to plant, hoping it's going to turn into another interesting and magical tree in your orchard. All right, that's the end of the active part of our workout. We do a cool down together. So after you're done hard work in your orchard all day, you need to go to the spa, right? So we're going to start with a little massage on the head. You can pat, you can rub, you can polish, whatever you want to do that feels good. We're just encouraging blood flow. We got the blood moving. We've got things oxygenated from our breathing. And now we're going to encourage that circulation even out to our skin. Our first line of defense, our first line of protection is our skin. We want to encourage it to continue to serve us well. And we're going to make our way to our collarbone just a little bit. Then we're going to stretch our arm across our bodies like we did in the beginning of class and hug it close again. This time you can reach back there. Oh, got to get my hair out of the way. You can rub any knots out of your shoulders that you might have. You know, maybe being in quarantine too long got to you. Maybe there's that family member that's stressing you out. You can quietly to yourself name that knot in your shoulder after them and give it a little rub. There you go. And we'll stretch our arm out in front of us. And we're going to rub down the arm, massage down the arm, out, down the outside edge, up the inside edge. We do it twice. There you go. Whew. And then we've got to do the other side. Oh, stretching that arm across, pulling it in. Do that shoulder as well. Give it a little TLC, some attention, some love, and really start working down your arm. Oh, good job. And then we'll come back to our collarbone, work our way down our sides to our tummy. Hey, those intestines and that digestive tract are super important under there. It's good enough for the cat. It's good enough for us. All right. And we're going to stretch out a leg. And this time, we're going to gently rub down the leg as we go down to stretch. So I'm doing a nice circular motion myself is what I enjoy. Working my way down towards my ankle. Switching over the inside of my leg. Working my way back. My thigh. Back to the outside. Rubbing down. Coming back up again. 2 passes. Of course, you can always stop and give yourself a little attention on those knees. Can feel really good. We're pretty hard on our knees. And you can bring that leg back and the other leg gets stretched out in front of us. Again, down the outside. Really rubbing those muscles. There you go, nice and gentle. And back up. You can stop on that knee and give it a little attention too. There you go. And draw that leg back in. Excellent. And then we're going to finish up with some of those breathing exercises. This time we're going to do them a little different. We'll do the whole breaths like we did at the beginning. And then I'm going to mix it up just a little bit and we'll do some controlled breathing exercises. I reference blowing up a balloon, which usually you do in increments, and letting air out of a balloon, just a little bit at a time. So again, we'll start with the whole breaths. Deep breath in, and then let it out slow. Deep breath in, and let out slow. Deep breath in, and letting it out slow. Sorry, my mailman just waved at me out the window. Deep breath in, and out. All right, now we're going to switch it up. So you're going to take, we're going to blow up a balloon. So it's going to go in 3 spurts. So, and now, really with each breath, you're working on building it bigger and bigger in your chest until you feel like you're going to explode. Now we're going to switch up to a big breath in, and we're going to let the air out of our balloon in a little increments. So deep breath in, and out. I like to really push out that last one. Really thinking about getting rid of any bad energy. Pushing out all the old so you can fill with new. All right, and then we're going to finish with 3 whole breaths. Oh, heck, let's do one more. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Chair Tea today. I hope you feel energized, invigorated, ready to tackle your day no matter what comes at you. And maybe you're ready for a little kitty love as well. So go love on your cat or dog or whatever you have. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you're looking for additional workout, we do a strength and mobility workout. Has some similar movements on occasion to this class, but we usually incorporate a little at-home materials like water bottles or cans just to add a little more focus on adding muscular strength and mobility to our movement. So join us on those. We'll be doing one Thursday morning at 8 o'clock. So we'll see you then. Otherwise, you guys, again, have a great day. Thinking about you. Stay safe. Bye-bye.